Christine Vanderpol, thank you so much for sitting down with Just to Be Nominated. Let's get right into it. Tell us about the process of making, your play into this movie.
Well, first of all, Terri, I must tell you that your craft service table is severely lacking. I have to have constant sugar in my blood at all times, otherwise I go bananas.
I have a Nutribar in my pocket.
That would be wonderful. That'd be wonderful. Can you crush it? If you would push it into small pieces, because I'm not good with roughage.
Sure.
Liquids and gels is pretty much all I eat.
I've read that on forums.
So many
so
forums. Oh, the fans are adorable.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you. Oh, this is wonderful. Oh, I can taste the maple. Now I'm able to begin. Now, what was your question, dear? You're both adorable, by the way.
Thank you.
Very adorable.
I'm Leo, by the way.
Oh, hi, Leo. Oh, like the astrological sign.
Uh-huh.
A lion.
I usually say like DiCaprio, but
Who? Oh, the little boy from the Ship movie. Yes.
The child actor.
Bless his heart. I hope he wins.
We're pulling for Leo, but we're pulling for you too.
Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, thank you.
we just want to say we love this film. So can you just tell us a little bit about what the process was like for you?
Sonnet 44, a one-woman exploration of poetry and cancer. I did this many times on stage to multiple reactions. And, of course, as you know, I won the Tony for it. And that was a wild night. Alice Ripley and I did Goldschlager for the first time. Way too much.
I actually saw that production when I was very young. I forced I don't mean to fangirl right now, but I basically forced my mom to drive me in from Pittsburgh to see that production. I was 11 years old.
Oh, wasn't it wonderful? Weren't I marvelous?
You were stunning.
I play a woman, a poetess, who discovers that she has a very rare form of cancer. It's hair cancer. It was just all over her hair, and she loved her hair. It was the greatest thing about her, other than her poetry and her story. She was known for her sonnets, not unlike Shakespeare, or, Percy Shelley, or, Dryden. Lots of poets I could name. We only have so much time.
It's so much time.
But this woman, she had 43 sonnets in her that she wrote cancer-free. And when it was time to write sonnet 44, the cancer crept into her hair at such an alarming rate that the play is about just trying to get it written. It's a battle of the wits. Anyway, it was wildly received. Jonathan Lasseter, a producer I trust implicitly, and there are very few people in this business I trust, came to me and said he'd like to turn this into a film. I said, naturally, it's very filmable. But I said, cast some people, hire some people. And I do not remember any of their names, but there were other people in the film. It was grueling emotionally, having to every day go through all of that. And the poetry this woman wrote was difficult, very difficult rhythms.
And you were also, at the time, you had cancer yourself. Through a portion of these stage performances.
Yes. Well, I take on every role fully. I believe that my talent created my own hair cancer. Tricky thing is that the hair cancer that I had in real life was different from the hair cancer that I had as the character. So it was a constant battle every morning of what's art and what's life,
And I do just want to say, I do just want to address it. I 100% believe that you had cancer.
Thank you.
And I think it's a nasty
The tabloids
rumor
are
out there.
disgusting.
Jeremy Piven went through this same bit of business.
Yes.
People don't believe when actors get sick. People don't believe women. And I believe you.
And they don't believe the Pivens. They don't believe any of the Pivens either. This business is very anti-Piven. But thank you. I appreciate your support because I had to constantly turn in so many medical files and doctor's notes, prescriptions for everything. But yes, once I did the film, I was over it myself. But I had to be careful because my talent starts knocking and it wants to give it back to me. So I was mainly in a crisis with my own talent, which I think created such a brilliant performance that I gave.
And is it true that you could have just shaved all the hair off your body.
Well, of course I could have. And then who would I be? G.I. Jane? Carliza Theron? You know, those women, you know, they're hairless.
They're
hairless, and that's their process.
Ariana Grande, all wig.
Oh, yes. She's that TikTok girl. See, I stay young. I keep young.
You do, and you've been working so long. This is your 8th nomination.
Yes.
Have you seen any of the other films by chance?
Of course. I watch every film. I've seen every film that's ever been made. So, yes, I watch every film that I'm not in with a sort of displeasure and dissatisfaction.
Understandable. Any of the other how did you feel about Meryl? Again,
we have read that this might be a little bit of a sore subject for you.
Listen, look, Meryl and I were in a gifting suite when she was doing A Cry in the Dark, and I was doing Fifi, and Meryl stole a pair of ermine boots that I wanted so badly. They looked really nice against my legs. No one looks at Meryl's legs. She wears sacks to these award shows. She doesn't care what she looks like, but she got those ermine boots. Do you know how many ermines had to die so that Meryl could stomp around in them? And they probably are just sitting in her closet somewhere, you know, that her painter husband also never looks at. But I could have worn them everywhere. And for that, I will not support. I can't say that I'm a fan, but I wish her well.
You have such an eclectic body of work, but of the 8 nominations, do you have a favorite so far?
Yes, I do.
I know mine.
Oh, I was nominated for Whispers and Shadows, where I played Mathilde, the wet nurse. Very mixed reviewed film because it was different lengths every time audiences watched it. They gave different cuts to different movie theaters, so audiences never really knew how to plan their days.
Can I say, though, me and my friends, we just love this film. We are constantly coming out to each other. I mean, Terri and I, and we'll just be like, are you going to clean that up? And I mean, such an iconic...
Yeah.
I actually went to a screening at the Ace downtown in L.A., and it was all gay guys. We were all just saying all the lines.
I love the Ace downtown. It looks like, you know, like an underwater hellscape. I feel like I'm really swimming with Satan while I'm there. But I love that you quote, "Are you going to clean that up?" I improvised that. That was not actually in the script, but it seemed like something the wet nurse would say.
What about the line, "Do you think I'm covered in bark"?
That was the 10th version of that line. The screenwriter had a very difficult time. It was, "Do you think I'm covered in barf?" And I was like, would they have said barf in the 18th century? I don't think so.
Wow.
But then we have the tree mythology, and we realize, oh, she might be covered in bark, but we know she's not. But I guess I spoiled the end of Whispers and Shadows. It was a very long time ago. If you haven't seen it by now, then you're not an artist. But of course, I was also nominated for Waste Not, Want Not, the acerbic comedy, where I played a divorcee alcoholic, daytime comedian, Brangeline Dugway. Again, not very widely seen. The humor was more thought humor, you know. But what else? There was Hornet Beach, where I played the mayor's wife. Rampant Dignity, where I, of course, played Carol, the neighbor, who knew everyone's secrets. But the twist was that no one knew that she had botulism. So that was the, you know, twist for that. You know, you never know. When you take projects, you take the project, you take the work. There's an up-and-coming comedian named Adam Sandler. So I did do an Adam Sandler film called Fart Village, and I played Queen Queef. And, you know, not my best work. I will say I was terrible in that role. I didn't understand the comedy. I kept pausing because I just didn't understand any of the jokes. But that same year, I got an Oscar nomination for Helen's Porch Full of Miracles, in which, of course, I played Joyce, who was struck by lightning in the middle of the day, and she realized that she's a star. Joyce she really was her name. She was full of joy, and then a little bit more.
And I love that Adam Sandler film. I used to watch it as a kid with I have these straight brothers, and it was their favorite movie.
If you're a fan of mine, please don't ever watch it again. Part of me dies every time it's viewed. But please tell your straight brothers that they have terrible senses of humor, and, you know, invite them to maybe not ever watch movies again.
I like things you weren't nominated for.
Yes.
That sci-fi thriller Blood on Mars.
Yes. The Academy has a hard time recognizing science fictions because they don't know that there's a lot of work and artistry that goes into that. I don't think any science fictions has ever been recognized by the Academy, ever. I played Pluta, who was half rock. I had to remember what part of my body was rock and what part was, sentient and living and breathing.
Well, I thought the performance was beautiful, and when you hurled yourself through that glass door.
I really did that every take. I did it every take. I refuse stunt people. First of all, I don't enjoy them. They're weirdos. I don't trust them. I don't want them wearing my clothes. I do all my own stunts. I was in the hospital for 3 months after that film because I kept throwing my body through that glass wall. But it was worth it. Everyone enjoyed it.
One thing about that moment is it's so sort of unexpectedly funny.
Wow. All right.
And it truly prepared you for your following film, Scar Tissue.
Yes. Luckily, I could use all of my scars. So I don't believe in any sort of makeup or prosthetics. I say, roll, print, tape. Just let's do it. But I was, for Scar Tissue, I was covered in lacerations that were my own from the previous film. And I played a monster.
Well, Christine, thank you so much for sitting down with us. I guess before we let you go, do you have any prediction for how Oscar night's gonna go?
Well, let's just say I'll be wearing a gown made by my mother. My mother was a seamstress at the Candleflick Dinner Players, where I got my start. As a young child, I was in the shop, and so it will mean a lot to me, and it will be very deeply disappointing if the Academy doesn't recognize me on stage in my dress and winning. I promise to thank everyone. So I won the SAG, I won the BAFTA. Here we go, Oscar.
I mean, the real question would be, if you do win, how are you going to follow up that SAG speech? I mean, it was truly spectacular. I was crying.
Well, I'll try not to talk so much about SeaWorld and my very controversial opinions about the dolphins. But no promises, because I hear there's free reuniti at the Oscars. So once I've had a little bit of the vino, the lips get loose.
Christine, what's your favorite Oscar memory?
I wrestled with Halle Berry in the fondue fountain. We both were having a wild time. We couldn't stop laughing. It was interpreted in the media that we were enemies and we hated each other, but we were giggling under those rivers of fudge and cream and everything else. But Frances McDormand wagged her finger at us and said, "Yeah, I'm trying to dip my strawberry in something that doesn't have your DNA on it," or something. I couldn't remember what she was saying. She was in jeans.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, I could do this all day.
Oh, me as well, me as well. It was so nice to meet you, gays.
Christine Vanderpol, thank you for sitting down with us again. How are you feeling?
Oh, hello, boys. Oh, well, my hands are empty. But my shoes are full. My feet are very, very thick in these heels.
Beth, can we get her maybe like a little stool to put
ice
these
pack
up?
Maybe just like some Vaseline that I can rub around the edges. But here we are, Oscars.
Yeah, the night did not go as we had hoped for you. Have you spoken to Riley? Like, have you spoken to any of the other nominees?
Riley? No, I have not. Hey, look, she's who she is, right? But I will tell you that I've had a great evening with Dina Reyes. I pulled her aside and said, "I know what it's like to not get one of these things 8 times. It's great to be here, and I'm having a great time with Dina. She flaps, as they say. Her songs, they flap."
I mean, you also have a history of singing from all the musical Lifetime movies that you've done. So you probably have something to bond over.
Well, when I did Woman at the Bridge, the Claudia Maddox story, a musical, I really had to stretch my vocal range because I had to sing outside on a deeply foggy bridge, always at night. It was the story of, no one could believe a woman could just live on a bridge independently, and, I did. So I learned a lot about vocal quality. Musicians, you're beasts. You learn to live on your own. You take care of your own body, your own instrument, in a way that no one will really understand. And I think Dina and I, we understand that about each other.
I'd love to see you feature on our next...
Ricky Martin, there he is. Look at him. Sexy man. Do you two know Ricky?
I think he guested on the pod.
I see him out all the time.
There he is. Looking gorgeous. Oh, fresh.
I guess I should ask a question.
This is your girl, Leo. I've never seen you so like out of it. This is Christine
Yeah,
Vanderpol.
you seem really glum, Leo. Hey, listen, did you lose an Oscar tonight or did I?
Yeah, it's not glum. I just kind of lost my career this year, but I'm bringing it back.
I know what that's
I
like.
don't know if that's
Speaking
happening.
of bringing it back, what can we expect from you? Anything coming out this year we can look forward to?
I've done several readings in Zoom, readings of Edward II, Troilus and Cressida, first folio. So it's about 6 hours. So I think that'll be a real hit. Dina said she can't wait to watch it. So if Dina Reyes likes it and gets the kids on board, then I am back in business. See you here next year.
I'd love to hear you feature on the next Dina Reyes song.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? Now, we did just meet, so I don't want to be too presumptuous, but I would absolutely love that. I could provide lots of wonderful vocals. I could even recite a monologue. I can do what?
Do you speak any Spanish?
No, but I can learn. I'm a sponge. I've seen lots of Spanish films. I've seen La Bamba, and
Were you in Dirty Dancing Havana Nights? Was that you?
Yes, I played the heiress who I found out has actually been stealing all along. Most of my scenes were cut out of the film, which I understand because at the end of the day, they came to me and they said, "Listen, Chrissy, your scenes were neither dirty or dancing." So that's how the business works. But yes, I was in it for a brief shining moment. Camelot. Oh, look. Oh, my goodness. It's Toby Keith. Toby! Oh, yes.
So tell us about the arm candy. We couldn't help but notice you came in with a fine man.
His name is Chad. He's a raging homosexual. As long as he doesn't speak, he really does look like a classic man. And that's what I wanted on my arm tonight. I wanted a gorgeous Adonis, a master of perfection. And he provides very little conversation, so he lets me talk most of the night. So it works out for both of us. Dina! Oh, Dina got my vermouth. Oh. Oh. Ooh, sugary.
So, Christine, tonight may not have exactly gone your way, but what happens tomorrow? How can we support Christine Vanderpol?
Well, luckily, I go to work on my new feature film, Hobo Melody. I am playing a deep, toothless country woman. It's going to be a real departure for me. I have to play a banjo with my gums, and I learn how to walk. Because I'm a woman who's... my legs work fine, but I just have never bothered learning how to walk until this film. I can't wait.
Sounds like it's going to be quite a challenge, a departure for you.
Yes, I have to learn how to sound like a simpleton, which, will be difficult for me. I will arrive very hungover to work in the morning. Sorry, producers.
Oh, they really scheduled you to work the day after the Oscars.
5 a.m. call. But I give myself a scalding ice bath and I scrub every fiber of my being. So that's what I have to look forward to.
Well, you have mere hours to get into that scalding bath. I don't want to keep you too much longer. Any chance you might work with Dinah in the future?
Oh, I can't wait. I hope we are friends forever. We've been friends for several hours, which in Hollywood years is about 12 years. I'll do anything she wants me to do.
Well, we'll let you go. Unless there's... Leo, I'm shocked by how silent you've been. Is there anything else? You have your
I think
idol.
I'm just taking it
You
all
look
in
sad. You look very sad. I'm going to just say it.
This is my first time at the Oscars, so I think... oh.
Sorry, I sneezed.
Oh, God, it went in my
I
mouth.
shouldn't have done... Oh.
Beth, can we get
Don't
a Kleenex?
Don't worry about it. Someone
blood?
gave me some powder, and they said, "Here."
Bit of blood. Oh.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well.
I guess you should have worn masks. Well, listen. It's great knowing you. I hope I didn't kill you.
It's okay. I'll keep this shirt forever.
All right, Christine, we'll let you go and enjoy the rest of the night. Unless, Leo, do you have anything else? This is your idol.
No, I think that's it. So thanks so much, and Beth will take your mic.
Wow. There's rude and there's rude.
I'm sorry.
Hugh Jackman! Hey! Oh, yeah. I played his mother. He doesn't remember.